Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a couple of thoughts about James Charles still being publicly supported by quite a few people that I find the entire thing just severely problematic, and I want to talk about it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I went through and I was curious. I went there for a while and I wasn't following any beauty brands on Instagram because I just wasn't interested in constantly being sold to. I didn't agree with some of these brands supporting some of the influencers that they were supporting. And so I unfollowed the majority of beauty brands on Instagram. But I was curious over the last day or so because Peter Mon did a really great video that I shared on my community page. So if you missed it and you have some time and you're interested, you can go check that out. But he was talking about James Charles and why this conversation matters and why people who are still supporting him are labeled as predator protectors. This conversation is so serious. It is not your kind of everyday drama that might pop up on social media. This is so much darker and so much more serious than any drama that I can think of. When I think of normal drama that is covered on social media, the stuff with James Charles, Colleen Ballinger, the more recent stuff with Ruby Frankie, and even a lot of the stuff with just other family vloggers. This is outside the normal realm of drama and it matters. So I wanted to echo his voice and what he said in his video, but then I got to thinking, who else besides Raw Beauty Christie and Daniel Prada is who else is still aligning themselves with James publicly? So I was curious about the brands, and there are quite a few brands that still follow James Charles. But I really wanted to focus on, because I know already people will come with the excuse, oh, well, maybe they just forgot to unfollow him. Whatever. I want to talk about the people that have been on his social media as of lately and the people that are commenting on his recent social media posts. The excuse of, oh, well, maybe the brand's social media team just hasn't unfollowed him, that might be able to get some people somewhere. So let's actually focus on the individual influencers and brand owners that are leaving him love and admiration or participating on his Instagram. The first post that I came across is from this influencer, MRUNU is her username. And they did this little reel together. There are people in the comments saying, why would you collab with him? Not a nice person. Giving some, well-deserved backlash on this post. I understand that when you are an influencer, it might seem like, okay, well, I can collab with this person and it will advance my followers, it will put me into a little bit of a different algorithm. But I will always say, how far will you go to grow your social media platform? Because for me, setting those boundaries is really important. And if I'm going to support somebody on social media, I want to know that they have those boundaries set in place where they're not willing to collab with somebody like James Charles simply because they need content or they need more followers. I would much rather follow somebody who is a smaller creator and not willing to sit here in James Charles' studio and act like they're having just a happy, fun time doing makeup and playing with eyeshadow. I would rather see somebody who doesn't do that, but that's just me personally. This is another influencer. I've seen her over on TikTok, and her name is Sarah. Sarah used to date one of the, what was his name? Tony and his brother. They were like real creepy. They again had problems with underage people. I'll throw his name right here, but they dated for a long time. This is his ex-girlfriend. She's a really big TikToker, and she is somebody who is supporting James Charles. Now, to know that she continued to date her ex-boyfriend despite the fact that he was exposed for being inappropriate in DMs, I'm not surprised that she is openly supporting James Charles. But Sarah needs to get her ducks in a row and do something better. Do something better. Can we get rid of influencers just being popular for no reason? That's another conversation I want to have on a separate video, because I think the age of influencers is limited. I don't think this is going to be forever, and I think that by the current climate, we can already tell that people are just over influencers. Why are you making $700,000 for literally doing nothing? You post selfies, you show us free stuff that you get from companies, and you show us your daily run to Starbucks and Target. Why are you making almost $1 million a year or more? You literally do nothing. The age of influencers is annoying, and I can't wait for it to be over. Now, the next post, he went here with this. This is a makeup artist, Alexis Oakley. Alexis has worked with some, some actual celebrities. She has worked with Makeup by Michaela. She has worked with Alexis Earle. She has worked with Kris Jenner. And she does makeup. It is her style of doing makeup something that I would jump through hoops to have her do my makeup? No, not personally. But she is obviously talented. She's worked with Tana Mojo. She has worked with Avril Lavigne, Trisha Paytas again. I don't know some of these people. There's Jake Paul's ex-girlfriend. So she does a little bit of both, normal celebs and also influencer stuff. Oh, she also works with the tuition thief, Olivia Jade. So obviously she's just willing to work with anybody who will pay her, but she is also somebody who is recently publicly supporting Mr. James Charles and all of his disgusting behavior. Now, James also posted this video, and I find it to just be disgusting, because I'm saying this strictly because he's posting this and knowing that he's still admittedly in DMs with fans. I just find the whole thing too much. It's too much for me. I'm not here for it. You're sitting here with your ass out and you're talking to people behind the scenes, still admitting that you're now having to check IDs for people that you're engaging with behind the scenes. How about stop using your fan base as a dating pool? He said, oh, I realize that my FYP isn't a dating app, but you're still talking to people in DMs and having to ask them for an ID. And if you're having to approach somebody and ask them for an ID, that tells me that they are not remotely close to your age. Because somebody who is in or around the age of 24, as Peter Mon said, is not going to look like a 17-year-old, point blank, period. The models that he had work for his beauty launch, this is something else. I understand models need work. Models, need to work a gig to get paid. I don't know. If I was in those shoes, which obviously I've never been in the shoes of a model who is looking for work, I would put a full stop at James Charles. Absolutely not. Find somebody else. I will not participate in a campaign that the damn business is run by a predator. That's a full stop for me. He also shares photos from Michaelas Wedding. Obviously, again, I get it. A lot of influencers were at her wedding, but the problem is that when those invites went out, James Charles had already been exposed for being a predator, and Michaela still chose to invite him to her wedding. That says a lot. Then, of course, we have him collabing with JoJo. There's multiple posts on that. Not surprised. JoJo's morals are trash, and she has nobody around her clearly who is guiding her in the right direction to actually reevaluate, why am I okay with supporting multiple predators? Why am I okay with doing that? Paris Hilton also still supports James Charles. This is a little bit of an older post. I didn't want to go too far back, but in February she went ahead and left him a comment, and they were at this event together for Klarna. Completely disgusting. Why is James invited to any event, and why is he having his social media posts commented on by Paris Hilton? You cannot tell me that Paris Hilton doesn't know that James Charles is a predator. And the People's Choice Awards. So we have also talked about this when it comes to Colleen Ballinger, but people, why are you inviting James Charles to your event? Why is James Charles remotely close to any kind of event that People is hosting? Because People is them publicly saying, we are okay with this predator, and we are going to go ahead and let him on the red carpet. He is invited to our event. It's disgusting. And I also want to say that Anastasia, who is the owner of Anastasia Beverly Hills, has recently left support on James Charles' social media. So Anastasia has zero morals. Here's another post where James and Sarah went ahead and did a collab last fall for Wednesday Addams. And like I said, I didn't want to go more than a year back, because at that point it becomes redundant. But the people that are still supporting James Charles, what is wrong with y'all? And I don't want to hear this, oh, well, he's a great person in real life. No, he's not. You don't know him in real life, because if you did, then, I mean, are you saying that you're okay with hanging out with a predator? Are you okay with hanging out with somebody who is in DMs literally asking people for photos of their armpit hair and trying to convince them that they're bi-curious? Like, James Charles is an awful person. And I will list some of the beauty brands that still follow him. But again, I don't want to harp on that too much, because I can already hear the excuses of, oh, their social media team just forgot to unfollow or whatever. But I did want to focus on some of the actual individuals that are still very loud with their support of James Charles. I think these people, I think influencers and people in this digital world just have zero ethics, a lot of them. Not every single one of them. No, I'm not saying that. Please don't twist my words. But I do think that a lot of them just have zero moral code. They have zero moral compass. They have no morals. They don't have people around them that are willing to not be yes men, because they're either getting paid or they're receiving some kind of benefit by supporting this person. Like, what does James Charles have on some of these people? Like Daniel Prada. Does he have secrets on Daniel Prada that he's worried might get leaked if they, if the tie is severed? What is the deal with James Charles? Why is it so hard for people to just say, you are a predator, I am no longer going to support you? Daniel Prada still follows James Charles on Instagram. So I don't personally understand the struggle. I don't understand why people are on this side of the road of just acting as if it's this impossible task to simply say, my morals do not align with who James Charles is, so I am no longer going to support him. James Charles still has 21.2 million followers on Instagram. The fact that he still has that many followers is alarming to me, but the scariest part to me is the fact that all of these high-profile names are saying, we are okay with James Charles. And therefore, all of these people are predator protectors. And I think it's disgusting. So that's my little rant for today about James Charles. With Peter's video, it just really got me thinking. And curiosity, got the best of me, so I wanted to make this little video for you guys. I did take yesterday off just to unplug, unwind, and take some time off social media. But I am back, so for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.